in 1980. Dr. Sabi is my elder, very wise man. And of course we have differences of philosophy when it comes to food science. Dr. Sabi burn the carrot, burn up the carrot. So you're not supposed to eat carrot because it's a hybrid food. And it's true, you know, it's true. But guess what? 99% of all the food you yam today is hybrid. So if you're going to burn up the carrot, burn everything else and stop yamming.
Question.
Yes.
But I follow Dr. Sebi a lot. I watched him last Sunday in Atlanta. What he was saying with it is like the acidity and the alkali content is that's where the problem lies. And it wasn't originally created by nature.
Correct. The acid alkaline is a big issue when it comes to food. First of all, the human body is supposed to be more alkaline than acid. About 7.6 on the pH balance. The body should be slightly more or even greatly more alkaline than acid. You find that everybody that's sick, their blood is acid. So you got to turn the blood into an alkaline state. As you see, look at this table, we're dealing with fresh food. And when it comes to fresh food, there's four major groups of foods. We have what is known, I've developed this poster here as a guidepost to help you figure out the Sunfire system that we have. We call it the Sunfire feasting, fasting, and healing system. And everything is predicated on the energy of the sun. And also, it is all based on the fact that the only food that we eat, that thing is not food, you know. The food that human beings eat is oxygen. That is our food, oxygen. And when we go and yam one of these something here, you know why we eating this mostly? Is to get the oxygen out of it. We're looking to extract the oxygen from the plants. That's what we're eating a lot of these foods. Yes, the minerals and the enzymes and all of the vitamins and all those things, those are great. But without oxygen, we have no life. That is our food. So everything is about oxygen. So this is a system that we promote that will detoxify the body, rejuvenate it, and vitalize it. So you get all your vital energy that you need from following this system. Because the main thing is that this system don't rob you of energy. The body does not get energy from food. The body makes its own energy. We are an energy system. We produce energy. Food is nothing but catalyst. Same like on the car, make its own energy. You don't get energy from the oil, from the gas or anything. It generates energy through the generator. We generate energy ourselves. We produce energy. So besides the planting, we're going into the current planting. We're going to put some lemon juice. We're going to sit the bowl down here and let's get busy. No. Put it here. So you need the board to chuck it. Just put that anywhere, that's no problem. Let's chuck the lemon. And we're using these lemons, the original lemon, the citron, the real something best. Let's get the board straight. Get this thing together on the board, get the down flat. Let's get it steady. Put something under the board. Cut the those and grab the juicer and then the juice the lemon. Don't take the seed on it, the juice right now. Just give that to Jerry.
Okay,
we're going to chop the scallions. Let's get the scallions down here. We're going to get about 6 sprigs of scallions and we're going to chop them up. So the plant will just slice nice and thin. Let's get about 6 of them, 6 of them. Got 4. Yeah, that's 4. Get 2 more here. 6 of them. That's it right there. We're going to slice them very thin. The spring onion, the green onion. Now those, in the Sunfire system, we have the 4 major groups of food. The fruits, the protein, starches, and vegetables. Fruits are all foods that contain sugar. Everything, when it comes to food, nutritionally, you're talking about everything that has sugar. Comes right here. Not to be confused with fruits botanically. The botanical fruit means that it's everything that have seed is a fruit botanically. But not everything that have seed is a fruit nutritionally, because the nutritional fruits are the ones that are classified based on the fact that they have sugar. So you have your papaya, you have your apples, you have your melons. Let's go ahead and pour. Let's go ahead. Gerald, come on, let's go ahead and pour the lemon juice right on there. Let's pour it right in. Pour it right in there. Pour it all of it in there. 2 large lemons, just get rid of that, clean that up. So you marinate the plantain and the lemon juice. You want the plantain to soak up that lemon juice. It's just like escovitch. You know, escovitch the plantain. You know, make it break down a little, you know, same thing. Let's get the mixture. Cover, that's it. Those 2 lemons is all we're doing. Let's get rid of this and move on to the next up. So let's just mix this up and get it going. Let it absorb all of that here. Okay, the next step, I'm just follow my direction. Just listen to me, and you get everything that you need to do. Okay, so besides the scallions, make sure the scallions are chopped very fine. We're going to go ahead and work with some tomatoes here. We're going to get these plummy tomatoes. We're going to get 6 of these plummy tomatoes and just chop them up fine, Joe. 6 plummy. Excuse me? The carrot is bred from what? You know, the carrot was just a little skinny root. And some of these great food, manipulators manipulate the food and they crossbreed and do all kind of things so it can hold more water. But you see that the real Jamaican carrot, you know, the little native carrot, tiny, deep orange. But it's just the manipulation over the time. But most of the food is like that. They all been hybridized. Whether it's cucumber, you know, pine, they're all hybridized today. There's no real true heirloom. Actually, there's some. When you look at a tomato like this is a heirloom tomato. You see them kind of, them flat one, and you see them wrinkle up, and you see all the inside all ripen as fast as the outside. Them is the ones you want to buy. These are the heirloom. But lots of them other stuff, they're hybrid. But you can't get too hung up in the hybrid and thing because otherwise you're really not going to be eating nothing today. So imagine all the packaged thing that you eat. Okay, let's get our scallion right in there. Okay, so that's our chopped scallion. Put it right here. Put it right here. That's good. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and keep tossing this here. And we have some olives. Okay, let's get 2 dozen of these olives and take them out and we're going to slice them thin. These are the black olives, the Kalamata olives. And olives is a fruit too, you know. Everything with a seed is a fruit. But olives are not classified with the fruits nutritionally because it does not contain sugar. Olive contains fat. Same like the pear, same like the coconut, they contain fat. So all foods that come with fat in nature, they're over here, protein. So that's how you recognize the protein. It comes with fat. So olives are protein. Ackee is a protein. It's a fruit. Ackee is a fruit. I was on with Richard B. Where was we over there? In Lucy. With Richard B. right there. And in my interview me and I'm eating my raw ackee and people are standing up there waiting to see me drop dead.
Huh?
Oh, if I eat raw ackee, I'm going to drop dead. I'm going to die. You know what? Go check the obituary of the people who died from eating ackee. The ackee cooked, you know. All of them who died from eating ackee was cooked. Raw ackee is not going to kill you. If the ackee needs to open on the tree, so the enzyme inhibitor, if that gas can escape, and that's what kills you, what the ackee open. But if you're eating the ackee raw, the body is going to detect it, and you're going to vomit. You vomit it up, it all come out. But if the ackee has been cooked, the body cannot detect that the enzyme inhibitor is still in there. So you stand a more greater chance of dying from ackee poisoning if the ackee was cooked than being raw.
Can I say something?
Yes.
The bird eat the ackee,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And live.
And then,
But the thing is, just like you were explaining,
yes.
you can smile and you can laugh. So when the ackee is smiling, it's not the best way to use it raw.
Yes, sir.
But when it is Laughing when it is well opened,
Yeah.
almost like it is about to spoil. That's the best
Soft,
time. Right.
Yeah, real soft. Butter aki. That's what you're looking for. Ready. See, when the aki, the thing is, when the aki is still closed, the pot not done yet. When the pot is ready and the aki is cooked, perfect to eat, the bus won't be. That's what tells you that the pot is ready. So we're putting, that's 2 dozen olives. We're going to put them right in there. We're going to put those tomatoes in there as well. And we're going to go ahead and put curry powder. Yeah, because we want this to work. You know, we're going to put 2 tablespoons of curry powder in there. Let's toss that up. Just to know that most of you are not eyebrows when you use some salt. To show you the salt you need to use with the black salt. Black salt comes from India. It's pink. Don't worry about the color. Some people look at green grapes and call them white grapes. Some people look at pink skin and call it a white skin. So you see a pink salt is black because in its original form, it's like a little black salt rock. When you powder it up, it's pink. This salt leaves the body. The only salt that in Indian Ayurvedic medicine that they promote that you can use because it leaves the body when you're fasting. I was just in India in December. I trained 65 chefs at the South India Culinary Association. You know, in India, them is the greatest vegetarian chefs in the world, you know. When you go for one of them buffet, about 30 different dishes, not one thing raw, everything's cooked, everything's dead. So I go to India and they bow down to me. They call me Swami Ji because them is the best vegetarian people in the world, and we go there to teach them how not to cook food, how to do sun-fired food.
Yeah, man.
You know, so we're gonna put some of their salt in. We're putting a half a teaspoon of the kalanamak in there, and we have our coconut cream. We're gonna put coconut cream. Get the spatula, Joe. That's the cream. This is rich. And it's going to break down. It's a little solid now, but once it gets in with the planting, it's going to break down. It's going to melt. It's going to become like an oil. So this is fresh coconut oil. Fresh coconut oil. That amount is the cream from 3 coconuts. Well, you don't have to make that much. You don't even need this much. But, you know, we like to exaggerate, you know, to make it in. You know, because we really want you. I know from many of you, this is a very unique experience today. So we want to really make it, you know, give you a good touch so you can see. Because some people have eat raw food that can't even conceptualize, you know, what it is. You know, and they go, oh man, I'm going to starve. I can't eat nothing. Yeah, you know, see, when it comes to certain things, you have to really be realistic about where you are. And we're not here to burn anybody's food. We're not here to tell you to become all raw food, stop eating this, stop eating that. That's not what we're about. We want to meet you where you are. But we want to just share with you what we, based on my research, come to understand that this is the original, natural, and best food for human consumption. Food that's not been cooked. But you have to really deal with your reality. When it comes to, I mean, actually we have a cooked food restaurant we're activating as well. So we do cook. Those of you, we'd like to invite you, you know, if you want to come, you can pass this out and take one of these. Sun-fired foods. We've just landed back in Jamaica. We were here for 9 years or more. I had a place in the grill. I had one up in Kingston. I was at the Bob Marley Museum. We ran the Queen of Sheba restaurant there. But now we're going to be in Bayview, in Portland, Port Antonio, Bayview Resort. So we're setting up a complete wellness center. We're looking to have Bayview be the wellness destination of Jamaica. So we're having our launch on March 1st, and it's going to be a feast, and it's going to be free. So we want to see you in the house, you know, to come and really experience the height of sun-fired fruits. And then after, the week after, we have some flyers for the yoga camp, some flyers, some announcements for the yoga camp for Bayview. Okay, we have the following week, the 7th and 8th of March, we have a yoga camp. Comedic yoga, Saturday and Sunday. Yoga morning, noon, and evening. So we're going to go ahead and put this in something in the back. And when we're ready to serve the plate, that's when we want this to go to the plate. So we're preparing a plate for you today. So besides what's being offered here at Adwa, it's not just a raw food plate, and we're just pricing it at 600 Jamaican dollars. We're putting all these things on it, 4 different items. The curry plantain, and the next dish we're going to make is the aki. We're going to do an aki seafood. Yes. No aki and saltfish here today. You know, I mean, but seafood, because we're going to use plant food from the sea. So when you hear seafood from me, don't think lobsters and shrimps and all them scavengers. Those are worms. We don't deal with them something. We deal with the plants that come from the sea. So we're going to be using, let's go ahead and free up the bowl so we can get the mixing bowl coming up. So we have our aki. I'm going to show you how to work with raw aki. Besides raw aki, what else we have here? That's going to go in our aki seafood. We have a moss. We have a sea moss that's around here that we soak it and it's ready to use. So the sea moss, this is the seafood that we're using with the aki seafood dish. Sea moss. We have all kind of interesting things, you know. So actually, we just brought some samples of things just to show it with you, because a lot of you really, you think this thing is so shallow. It's a complete cuisine. And again, it's recognized all over the world. Go in the encyclopedia and look for sunflower food and you'll see us in there. You know, I travel all over the world teaching this. You know, we go to Brazil, we go to East Africa, we go to Malaysia, everywhere sharing this. When I started eating all sunflower food in 1976, been now 30-something years now, 39 years. When I started, very few people was into this. Only people that used to eat this kind of food were sick people that eat it just as medicine, because it was like their last hope. Cancer, and they would eat grass juice and eat beans, trying to stay alive. But I got into it not because I was sick, I got into it because I thought I was smart. Because when I read about this thing, and when I see all them killer food make people sick, I have to stop eating those things. So it's been 39 years, and ever since I got in here, I've just been developing and creating things. So this here right now, this is a cashew cheese. It's made with cashews, raw cashews, lime juice, and we put a special secret in it. You know, we never bring the special secret with us today, but it's a pimento liqueur, like a balsamic vinegar made from Jamaican pimento seeds with bananas. So that's what's in the cashew cheese. And it's cheesy. We let it ferment. So it's just like any great expensive European cheese, but it have no animal pus in it. So that's what cheese is. It's really just dry up animal pus. Don't feel bad. I'm not here to insult you. No, you know, when people get infection, most of what's coming out is the animal pus that you eat, you know. That's what it's called, infection. They give it a nice name. Infection. It's animal pus. Okay, so we set up our food processor with the S-blade, and we're going to put our aki in there. I don't know infection, the animal pus.
True.
Easy now. You know them thing is animal pus.
You know?
But you know it's interesting because some people eat animal vomit. And because it's sweet, they call it honey, and I don't know, it's vomit from the bee. Not disrespect, you know, to honey lovers and beekeepers. It's fine. It's not going to kill you. It's not bad. But understand that it comes through the bee system. It's food that the bee make for them babies. You know, so go and chop that. We're just going to pulse it, chop it. Now, can you imagine? The bee make the little honey for their little babies. Yes, chop it. Yeah, just chopping the ackee. That's good. We don't break it down fine. That's good. Right there, man. Yeah, we're gonna take it down to the bowl now. So you see, that's the ackee. By the way, what we did, when we shell out the ackee, it was a little tough, so we put it in the freezer overnight. So you get that texture.
Wow.
So the next batch, we're not going to chop it so smooth, so fine. We're going to give it a little texture. So we're making the ackee seafood dish. This is a food processor. In this cuisine, we have 4 machines that we use. We use the blender. Let's take the blade out and work it. No, let's go ahead, set it back up and do this. Then you take the blade out. Let's set it back up and do the other batch. Let's get the handle. Let's get the handle in the back. Let's take your time. Don't force it down and wear it out.
Persons further don't want to hear you.
Somebody want to hear me? Okay. You can come right here and I'll save a seat for you. Don't be shy. Yes. 1 minute. Let me just chop this one away. So, okay, so let's take it out and put it in there, and then we're gonna put our sea moss. What do we call it?
Sea moss.
Right there from Jamaica moss. Let's take the blade out. Let's work with the blade first. Okay. Question? With the ackee seafood, is going to be included in the dish. Also, we have a nut meat. A nut meat is going to be included in the dish, and then we're going to do what we call Rasta sin pasta. You know the sense of me? We do a sin pasta. Rasta sin pasta, because pasta is paste. We don't serve them something there. You know, some people call it Rasta pasta, but Rasta shouldn't be eating pasta. Rasta should do sin pasta. Okay, so we're going to do that. So those 4 things are going to come on the plate, and it's $600 for the plate with those 4 things. And we're going to put a few little extra something in there so you can really get to try the cheese. You're going to get to try the cheese, and actually we have an ackee cheese. We're going to give you a little sample of the ackee cheese. Well, this one is the ackee butter itself. And it's a nice cream loose butter. Actually, we have some dehydrated plantain. This gets mixed in with the curry plantain. So we slice one plantain, dehydrate it, mix it in with the bowl with the curry plantain, and leave it, let it absorb the moisture in there. It gives it a different texture. We have some linseed tomato crackers. You know the linseed, the flaxseed. We have linseed crackers, so we're going to put a little bit of sample of that on your plate as well. So you're really getting a gourmet feast, you know. But we really want to introduce you to this. And we have something very special that we brought to share with you. Look at it. What do you think that meat is? Mushroom? We don't serve mushrooms. That is fungus. We don't serve mushroom. We don't serve fire food. That is toxic released from the earth. What? A little bit in there. No carrot in there. Highlight on the plate. And get those 2 trays back there. Let me show you, because, you know, we like to show off this thing, you know. It's a big show-off food, you know. Because that's what people really... Food is entertainment, you know. When you go out to eat, you just go to entertain. You get entertained. So that's what we're here to do. We're here to entertain you. But not only entertain you, the trays. We want to entertain you. Yeah, we're coming to the So I just want to promote the menu so people know that don't fill up on all the big nice food. You know, save a little room. So we now want to entice you with the menu first. So this come out of the dehydrator, and what you have on the top there, that's a wrap. This is a wrap. You see how thin it is? You see that? You know what that is? Jelly meat. Jelly coconut. Don't throw your jelly coconut away. This is a wrap. So we don't do no spring wrap. Let them use tapioca and rice starch to make them spring wrap. This is the summer wrap. This is the high vibration wrap here. And under here, I said you have the ackee butter over there. And under here, we actually have the ackee cheese under here. The ackee cheese here. Same ackee butter with dehydrated. Same way that people make them damn rotten cheese. They make the cheese so rotten blue and rotten out, and people yam off them rotten thing, them blue cheese. But we make it in a different way with a more higher vibration. Excuse me? We're not finished. We're going through the whole thing. We're making them. We want to make them. We want to make them. Actually, what we could do, we can start serving because some of you probably hungry already. So what we could do is we're going to serve the curry plantain, and we're going to put a little bit of these three things on the plate with the curry plantain and start serving it for those who want their plate. And when the other dishes are made, we're going to bring that to your plate and add it to your plate for you. So, but you'll get to sample all of these things. And then, let's put it in the back. That come out of the back. So fix up the plate in the back. With the curry plantain and a little bit of these little things to fill the order so anybody wants to start ordering now. And also, to seal it off, we're going to make a paradise pie for you. So the pie is going to be 300 a slice, so get your pocket ready for that. So the paradise pies are the stars of the show. Them things are even more famous than we. Big newspaper magazines and front cover magazines and all them things all over the world. This is one of the paradise pie here. This is one run right here. But they're very, very famous. That goes in the back and that goes on the plate. Just leave it back there whoever's serving up the plates. You know, when I was on with Ian Bowen early in I think 2000 something back there, and I was on with Ian Bowen serving up this food and doing this thing. Boy, I love the pie. I used to be on TV, Jay. We used to be all over those places. I did consulting work for Strawberry Hill up there in Irishtown. Trained chefs up there for them. I did consulting work with the Caves out there in the grill. Consulting work for the Hilton Hotel right there in Kingston. Let me go and finish up this something in here, and we're going to talk about the oats still. So we have the ackee and the sea moss going in there. Now also we're going to put some aromat seaweeds, another seaweed, the aromat. So we want to get in here, you want to put a quarter cup of aromat in here and you're going to soak it with water. Aromat seaweed, it needs to be hydrated. I'm sorry, not aromat, this is the wakame seaweed. Wakame seaweed. So we're going to rehydrate them, put a quarter cup in there and add water to it. And that's going to be added to the ackee. Yeah, the white meat we're going to put together. Oh, the cashew, yeah, you can use a little scoop for the cashew. That's coming. So we're putting these things together. We want to teach them what it is. All right. We're going to serve them that now. And then we're going to put the salad on the plate when they're ready. Yeah, we want you to see these dishes made. We don't want to just, come bring some food in a box and just give you a thing and say, this is what it is. Because you have to bear witness that, because eating out is a dangerous thing, You got to know what them chef putting in your food, That's why you have to come to these places where the kitchen is open. You can see what the chef putting in your food. You go to them other places, the chef will lock up in the back room and he's sweating and dripping in your pot and you don't even know what's going on back there. So we want you to bear witness that this is real food. So what we going on right now? So you want to put, let's go ahead and go ahead. Put some coconut water. That's good. That's enough coconut water in there. And also, we're going to use some dust. Please keep this off the cutting board. Our cutting boards are very sacred. Only food that we eat and knives go on cutting board. Move this off from here. And we're going to chop up. This is dulse. This is another seaweed. It's like a sea lettuce. This is dulse. We're going to take half of this dulse and chop it up fine on the cutting board. Let's put it on the cutting board. Nothing goes on the cutting board than the food and the knife go on the cutting board. Okay. The oats. Oats is a grain. Oats is in this group here, the starches. Complex carbohydrates. Just like rice, wheat. Some people eat couscous and they say yum raw food. Couscous is couscous. It's a wheat that's been cooked already. Bulgur wheat is another wheat that's been cooked already. But all the grains are quinoa, millet, rye. They're all starches. Now, one thing you need to know about grains, including oats and rice, human beings are not grain eaters by nature. It's only been 10,000 years since we started eating rice. So you're not really a rice eater by nature. That is not a food for human beings. Grains are seeds for grass. Grass, oat grass, barley grass, wheat grass, rice grass. Rice is really just a straw anyway. You can't even eat the grass. But you know rice is an interesting grain because you soak it with water and it won't even absorb. So you have to boil it so you can pump the water in it. Because you have the power of the fire and you can cook and you can boil the rice and pump it up with water, now you're going to call it food. It's only been 10,000 years that human beings been eating grain. Go watch your history. Not telling you no theory or any of those things. This is history, historical fact. It's only been 10,000 years that human beings have been eating grains. So yes, they've eaten in Kemet, in Egypt, and all of them places. We need to examine some of these things. We're not grain eaters by nature, but actually to even go a little further. Okay, we're gonna add the adults right into our bowl here. We're gonna get 3 leaves of the nori sheet, another seaweed. Get 3 leaves of the nori sheet. Nori is another seaweed. So we're adding all of these seafoods to it because you want to get iodine. Seafoods are rich in minerals. Yeah, so just save your plate. And when we finish with the ackee, it's coming right to your plate. Okay? Now just fold it in half. We fold it in half. And we're going to cut it. Cut it straight in half. We're on the fold. Fold it and cut it. Just fold it and run the knife through the cut. We're going to cut it with the knife. Right there. It doesn't have to be exact. That's fine. Just run the knife through the cut. Fold it again and cut it again. Same way. Fold it, same way, and cut it again. Same way. No, in the other direction. The same way. Long way. Fold it. Just fold it, crease it, and run the knife through the cut. Okay? So this is one of the best ways to enjoy these types of seaweed. Just run the knife right through. Sit it on the board and hold it down flat and run the knife. Hold it flat. Just hold it flat, just the way you have it. Flatten it right here. Saw motion. Don't pull, just saw. And now just keep those together, just the way they are. And you're going to cut them in strips right on the board. Get the knife and just cut in thin strips, just like that. Cut the board. Cut the board. Let's get our large knife. Get the large knife. I'm sorry. Okay, this is a chef knife. You have to learn how to work your chef knife. It's a rocking knife, so you hold it and you rock and chop. So, or you can just go this way, but the idea is to cut the board. When the seaweed gets wet, it's harder to cut. So you want to keep it dry. The entire idea is to not to cut the seaweed, but to cut the board. It's like everything else you're chopping on the board. Chop the board, not the food. Okay, and then you know how much pressure you have to put into it. Now, as we were speaking about the starch and the oats, it's a grain. And it's only been 10,000 years human beings been experimenting with eating these things. And you know, starch is starch. Besides the grains, your root vegetables. The deeper the root grows into the earth, the more starch it has. The ones grow close to the surface of the earth have very little starch, high in moisture, like your carrot, your turnip, the radish, and those types of things. They grow close to the surface of the earth. These types of radish all grow right here in Jamaica. Beetroot, so they have a lot of water in them, so they have less starch. But the deeper the starch grow, the more starch, the root grow, the more starch it has. So then you have your sweet potato, you get more starch. Your potatoes full of starch, so you get potato starch. You go a little deeper, you have your yams. And way down deep, you have your cassava. Full of starch. You take a piece of yuca, cassava, run it through your juice extractor, you don't even get one drip of water out of it. You take a piece of that so-called Negro yam. They call it Negro yam because it makes your knee grow. You know how them ancestors, they don't talk about the Negro yam. That my knee is growing when I eat that yam. Because that yam, like all those starches, they settle down to your lower extremities, your fingertips and your toes. You juice a piece of that yam, you don't get not one drip of water, it's just pure starch. All those starch, you know what they make it from, them things. So when you eat those foods, you starch up your body stiff. Then you'll call it arthritis. The arteries are hard with what? Potato starch, rice starch, and all of those things. So settle in your fingertips and your toes first. Starch you up. Then after the toes and the fingertips, it settle in your wrist and your ankle. Then it settled in your elbow and your knee. My knee is hurting. It must be rain. The rain is coming. I can feel it. Yeah, when the weather gets cool, when you starch, when it gets cool, it gets stiff. You have to run some heat on it. Just massage it for me. Rub it. You have to run heat. You got to lighten up the starch. Okay, so about the seaweed, I put the seaweed right in there. And the wakame, you're going to put it right in there as well. So we got the seafood going in. Put all the wakame with the water and all. No, actually drain the water off. Put the lid on there and drain the water off. And then you're going to pour that in. Now we're going to get an onion. Get the large onion right there. Peel the onion. So we're going to put onion. We're going to put some scallion in here. Okay, so again, this is the Aris seafood. We're going to put three of the scallion in there. Chop the onion and put it right into the food processor with the S-blade. The scallion, we're going to chop it and put it in the food processor with the S-blade as well. We're going to put some pimento in there, allspice. We're going to put a little allspice. You know the kind of things you put in your traditional ackee and salt fish dish. The regular same kind of thing. You put some garlic in there. And we're going to create a seasoning to go with this. We're going to put tomatoes in there as well and create a nice seasoning to go with it. So, all right, just drop the seaweed right in there. Yeah, get the spatula and clear that out. Just drop it right in there. And Gerald is going to peel 3 cloves of garlic, goes right into the food processor. Just take this off. Cut the onion a little smaller and put it right in. You can leave this right in that area here for now. Peel 3 cloves of garlic. That's over in this area here somewhere. Okay, we have the 3 scallions. We're going to chop them and put them right in. And we're going to put some tomatoes in here also. We're putting, just chop the onion in about 1 size piece, not too small, large, very big piece, and put them right in the food processor. They're going to be broken down. Yeah. Okay, we're putting 6 of these plummy tomatoes in there. And what we're going to do with the plum tomatoes, for this dish, we're going to cut the seed out. We're going to save the seed aside and cut that out because we don't want to put too much more moisture into the dish. And just put that aside in there. Just cut the tomatoes, take the seeds out and put it aside. We're going to put the pimento in here. So we have 1 dozen pimento seeds. And we're going to start running this machine so that we can break the pimento seeds up. We leave that, let it run for a while. Put the tomato pulp right into that container here. So we're running the onion and the pimento and the scallion so we can break the pimento down. We can drop the garlic in there as well. And we're going to put a little bit of our black salt in there. I'm putting half a teaspoon of black salt in there. That's good. We're going to put some olive oil. Actually, for this one, we're going to use some hemp oil. I understand there's a lot of hemp being grown in Jamaica now. We're producing our own hemp oil. This one actually comes from foreign. But hemp, yeah, this is hemp seed. And don't confuse hemp with marijuana. This is the seed itself. The highest source of protein in the plant kingdom, 90% protein. Big food, 90% protein. So we're going to go ahead and add some hemp seed to our dish. We're going to put the hemp seed oil. We just put in 2 tablespoons. It's a very rich oil. You don't want to use too much, but 2 tablespoons. went right into the food processor there. And the hemp seed itself. We put 2 tablespoons of hemp seed. See how excuse me? Excuse me? No THC, it will not get you irie. It will just nourish you. You know, but you know what? You know, you just open up a little window there, but let's hear the brother before I go in that window.
I find out why that hemp is very low in THC, 0.5% THC. Right. What? Huh?
No, it's very low. It's
very low.
0.5.
But I just want to say, at the moment,
Yes.
hemp, irrespective of the fact that hemp beer has been coming into Jamaica from England for years,
Yes.
hemp is still considered to be illegal in Jamaica. Right now, you cannot go to the registrar of company and register anything with the name hemp or ganja in it. And I'm telling you, check it.
Yeah, well, I'm going to try to change that soon because they're going to try to catch up with the world because
Right. But,
they're getting bankrupt and they're going to try to find money out of us.
Continuous agitation
Yeah.
will bring the solution.
Yeah, but you know one thing, while we're on the subject, it is very important for me to share with you something that you know, and it's just plain historical fact. Human beings have been on this planet for over 1 million years, based on recorded history, nothing else. DNA date back to more than 1,000, let's go ahead and put the tomatoes in. Human beings have been on the planet for more than 1 million years. Do you know how long it's been since human beings started the use of fire? The advent of fire. Go into your history book. No more than maybe 200,000 or 300,000 years since the advent of fire. So before we started using fire, it's no secret and it's no big science to figure out that we are not cooked food eaters by nature. Human beings are not cooked food eaters by nature. Before fire, you never ate no cooked food. So don't bring no argument about is cooked food natural or raw food natural or something like that. That's why when it comes to the whole thing about vegetarianism, the argument does not begin with vegetarianism. The argument begins with fire. Because before the use of fire, we never jerk, we never roast, we never boil them animals, so we never even ate animal foods. Because we cannot eat raw flesh. Our digestive system is too long. Pour me some of this one here. Pour me some juice, some of that one. The digestive system is too long. Meat, animal flesh rotten before it leaves. We're not lions and tigers. We're not meat eaters by nature. But back to the point. So with that said, yes, the herb is for the healing of the nation. Fire kills the nation. Fire kills the nation. Fire kills the nature of the herb as well. You know, when it comes to herb tea, when you make your herb tea, and everybody tell you this, and you can even try it for yourself. Try it with senna leaf. That's a good herb to experiment. You know the senna leaf, the one them used to purge you out. Take some senna leaf and just put it in some water and leave it out in the sun for about 8 hours. And you draw the medicine from it. You drink that senna leaf tea tonight, you have a nice smooth bowel ease tomorrow morning, no problem. Take that senna leaf and try it a different way. Steep it in water the way they recommend you should always do your herbal tea. You're supposed to steep them in water. Don't boil your herb, right? You know that, right? Don't boil herb, because if you boil the herb, what happens? You're going to extract not only the medicine, but the poison, the toxins in the herb. So you just steep the senna leaf, and you drink that night. The next morning, you have your bowel movement, but you feel a little something, a little gripe. But try it that next way. Boil it. Boil the senna leaf. Boil it up and drink it. When you bend your bowels move, you don't get the gripe, you get the cut. It cuts you up. You bend over. Now let's try it the fourth way. Crush it up. in the palm of your hand, crush it up, and roll it in a split, and burn it. Smoke it, and see how it makes you feel, how you going to feel. So what we do when we get the ganja, when we get the herb, and we roll it up, or even put it in the chalice, but anytime you burn it, and you torch it, you're bringing out the medicine. Yes, it's good for the healing of the nation. Well, this nation should be well healed by now. As much ganja been burned on this land. Well, we're well healed, we're healthy. But when you burn it, you do something else. You draw out the toxins. Not only the medicine, but the toxin. So ideally, what I recommend, or what I've seen, what I have observed to be a very healthy way to use the herb, is to get that young, fresh ganja leaf and run it through your juice extractor like wheatgrass juice. Well, 1 teaspoon of that is enough for the healing of the nation, for the healing of the body. Juice. It's a big difference. We're not. You're not activating the THC to the point where you bring out the toxin. So for most of us, when we charge it and when we burn it, and we really burn that THC, and that sensation of feeling high, or feeling irie, or feeling a certain kind of way, and no mistaking. Of course, we're putting it through the lungs. The lungs is an organ of elimination. We have activated the toxins in the herb, putting it through the lungs. Of course, it's going to hit the bloodstream instantly. And the human brain has a 90% blood flow on it constantly. So of course it's going to go to the brain instantly. So what happens, we call that feeling being mellow, being irie, being nice, and all of that stuff. In some places they call it being intoxicated, like when you drink rum and them things. So you're intoxicated because there's a lot of toxins going into the body. So that blood lingers on the brain, and the feeling is there. Of course, it's a great herb, and you're intensifying it, so it expands, wherever it goes, and whatever you're doing is going to expand on it, which is great. So the thing is now, at some point, not too long after, you're going to have some big food. Dumpling, green banana, chocho, you name it, rice, tofu, yam, big food. Some people call it the munchies. The munchies. What is going on is that the excessive toxins that have been activated in the herb is now irritating the brain cells. In some cases, actually even destroying the brain cells. Especially if you're doing it under the tropical sun. And you're getting the most intense cali weed in the world. And if you're not eating the big food, the body goes into self-defense. And it doesn't want the blood lingering on the brain too long with those toxins in it like that. So it brings the blood down to the digestive system. That's why we want the big food. That's why we have the craving. We have to slow it down. So not to say that, it's dangerous or any of these types of things, but it's just a science you need to observe. And it's one thing that I've noticed very interestingly. I mean, obviously it's a cooked food, because you're burning it. Some people burn it and say, oh, I don't eat no cooked food. But it's very difficult. It's very difficult to take one thing cooked and don't eat other cooked food. So it's very difficult to burn ganja and only eat raw food. You need sugar. You need a lot of sugar, and that's why most of what we crave is carbohydrates. So let's add this here to the aki. Oh, let's go ahead and work with the tomatoes, and then we're going to add that to that. Feel free to ask questions at any time. I was on the ganja panel back at UE back in early 2000 when, with Knife and, all the other folks, and they were discussing this whole thing. And just raising that one point, it just makes people think, and it's not to, but ideally though, it's a grass. And we're not grass eaters by nature. We're not cows, we're not goats. You know, so the grass, it's best to juice them. Even just take it, actually, in our situation, what I would do is just put the young, fresh grass in the blender with coconut water and blend it and have a nice big juice. I've seen women going through menopause, hot flashes, drinking that ganja juice, arrested right away. So, yes, cataract, glaucoma, all of those things, it breaks it down. It's a very powerful medicine. But we deactivate, same like we deactivate the medicine in the curry by burning it, we deactivate the medicine in the ganja by torching it. So, you know, let's go ahead and put that right in. And the tomatoes, we're going to chop those up and put that right in as well. And we're going to mix that up and we're going to bring the actual dish to you and serve that out also. Yes, question?
Are you ready? Yeah. Okay, first of all, I must say I respected the knowledge and food so far, you know, good awareness on that. And that's what we really need, awareness. Now, I heard you mention one word earlier on which strikes up, you know, interest in me, which is Ayurveda. How far does the eye goes in that field of study?
I don't. My thing is really food.
Okay.
And I'm just limited as much as possible to that because I've really been concentrating.
Okay.
But I know it's a very powerful science.
It is.
And one of the things that I do employ on a regular basis from the Ayurvedic medicine is the air coating. Use the air candles that's been developed and it suction the wax out of your ear rather than syringing it out. It's a very powerful science.
Right, so because you mentioned it and I had a book on it and you know it's an Eastern knowledge.
Yes.
Because in the East, it is it's prevention.
Yes.
In the West, it's cure. So, and you mentioned yoga. And Ayurveda is the sister science of yoga. They all work hand in hand. So, I would love to hear something more on that Ayurveda in terms of food because of the tree bar, and then the one in between is pitta, which is the fire. And the food, where food is concerned, not all the food that is good for vata should be consumed by the person of kapha constitution, like watermelon, water. So a person who is of kapha constitution should not eat watermelon. If they do, just a little piece. Now, the person of vata, like me, which is air, I should avoid cabbage, dry beans, and they are airy food. They produce gas. You know, so I think we should look into this so we can have a balance. Yeah, but I respect the AI knowledge so far. It's deep, and I'm just like, whoa, very sorry that we weren't talking about the human anatomy, but we are like attacked. Anyhow, that's my, well, not really a question, but just my little suggestion, you know. But Ayurveda, I think I'll explain it a little bit because I'm a poet. I'll be up there in a short while. So, thanks.
Give thanks, give thanks.
Now, yeah, that is very important. You know, one of the things that we need to acknowledge, well, a lot of us acknowledge it, is that we are the first humans in creation, and everyone else came from us. So obviously, a lot of their knowledge came through us. You know, it all started in one place, and it has been migrated and spread. But also, you know, not only the knowledge, but even a lot of their indecencies came from us. Because if we created certain people and they gone out being vulgar and creating some very reaping havoc on the planet, we still have some responsibility, you know, to put them in their place because they are our children too. But I really appreciate your contribution, and I think you know a little more than I do. So we look forward to what the rest that you're going to share. Now, yeah, the oats cause mucus. All starches cause mucus. All starches are acid-forming foods. In terms of the grains, there's only one grain that is alkaline producing, and that is the millet. Now while this is going on, we're going to move on to our next recipe. So we're going to be doing the nut meat. So we have pecans and almonds. Let's get those out. Over here, they're in this zone over here, right here, pecans and almonds. We're doing a nut meat. Now the oats, again, starch produces a lot of mucus like all grains, for the most part. The challenge with oats, the oats that we know, that flat oats is cooked. It's rolled oats. If you're going to use oats, you really want to get the oat groats, the grain, and you soak it for 12 hours, then it's really ready to eat, but it's still going to produce a lot of mucus. There's a lot of starch. It's worse when it's cooked. Let's leave the board and let's get the food processor, set up the food processor with the S-blade. You want the oats is cooked, but even the raw oats, again, you sprout it, it's going to create, so you really want to eat very little of it. They cause the sinusitis. Person with sinusitis eat too much oats, too much bread, too much flour, too much grains, too much starch, too much rice, and they probably even drinking milk as well. Too much complex carbohydrates. Now, this particular group of food, the starches, the complex carbohydrates, you know what? It's actually not a necessary group of food whatsoever. You can live without starches. You can live without rice. You can live without beans, without potatoes, because they all have to be converted into sugar.
The person who does not eat flesh and eats the grains like the beans and so they can yes.
The protein or your fats, the food that come with fats, those are protein. So there's 3 beans that are high in protein. There are 3 beans that are high in protein. Those are peanuts, lentils, and soybeans. All beans contain protein and fat and starch. Let's put all of those in there. That's don't pour any water in it. Just keep taking it out by hand. We have 3 cups of soaked pecans, and you could use walnuts. You could use any nuts, but they have to be soaked for 12 hours. Remove the enzyme inhibitors so that they can digest. Now we're going to just grind that down by itself in the food processor with the S-blade. Then we're going to remove it and put it into our mixing bowl. The person who needs protein, they want to get nuts. The nuts are your protein. Nuts are seeds. They're rich, concentrated protein with fats. To actually eat the beans for your protein is not that healthy as your main source of protein, because beans contain starch and protein, both. Most beans contain 70% starch and 30% protein, so they're listed under starch. There's only 3, the lentil, the soybean, and the peanut. The peanut is not a nut, it's a pea. It's a pea. Only because we roast it and it crunches like a nut, we call it a nut. Do you think a donut is a nut? A lot of us eat it like it's a nut. It's a dough. They have a hole to put a nut in it.
Donut.
Need sugar. And I say every fruit what I eat, it contains sugar.
Yes.
So all I am able to have sugar, the real sugar. But if the sugar from the fruit is damageable, as I hear the idols, and the other one, I said it's tough to need sugar. So could you declare what way could we be able to add?
When I'm talking about the fruit sugars, that's the whole fruit. This is what we need. Oranges, papaya, mango, pineapple, these berries, real sweet fruit. That's where we get our sugar from. If we eat potato and rice and yam and dumpling and green banana, the body has to turn those into sugar. It's a job. It's a big job. A green banana is, of course, we take that out, put it in the mixing bowl, and we're going to do the almonds next. grind them by themselves. The green banana is a fruit that we did not allow nature to finish cooking it and turning it into sugar. So when we grab a green banana and boil it, we really try to force ripe it. And we never achieve that because we cannot convert it into sugar by boiling it. It's still a starch. And when you eat it as a starch, it's going to produce mucus. It's going to clog you up. For us to use our body to make sugar from starch, whether it's yam, dumpling, green bananas, rice, bread, you name it, we need to get out there, like the same boat, burn up that Trinidad yam. You got to blaze. You got to blaze. You got to turn your body into a refinery to turn that starch into sugar. Most of us are sitting steady today. We're not sweating like that. We're not in the field chopping cane anymore. We're not working from can see to can't see. Where we're out there taking that starch, taking that dumpling, taking that roast yam and turning it into sugar because we are turning cane into sugar on the field to make rum and to hurt some other people. Now we're not doing that. We're sitting back, laying up, being airy and mellow, on the computer, on the couch, eating potatoes, and we're not turning the potato into sugar. So that's the problem. So most people that have diabetes, it's not from the sugar in the fruit, it's from the starch. It's the starch. You have diabetes. Let's go ahead and let that run and grind it down as smooth as possible. You have diabetes, and you go to the doctor. Yeah, refined sugar is a big deal. You can't eat refined sugar. You can't eat these processed things like that. You can't eat candy. When you have candies and those things, you're really setting the foundation for the diabetes. For those of you who are coming in late, there's a plate that's being circulated. If you want to get a serving of the plate, you'll see the waitress, the cashier, and they'll set you up. So that's good. We're going to take the grind almonds out and put them in the food in the bowl with the pecans. So this is meat. This is not meat. The original meaning of the word meat is food. Food. Now we're going to season it. Just like you season them dead fowl thing, you're going to season it. So you're going to season the meat with some celery. Just the same seasoning we put in them other thing them there. Celery is great. We're going to put some scallion in there to season our meat. We're going to put onion. We have a country pepper here. We're going to put country pepper in there. Blaze it up. We're going to put some sweet pepper in there, red and yellow. We're going to chop those things, put up the food processor with the S-blade, chop those things and put them in. Everybody's fine with some good, fine, hot country pepper? Oh yeah, I'm here, chop. Excuse me for asking. Some place I go where I'm the only one in the room and I have to ask them. I'm up on fire for them. Our food, let's chop it up a little fine. Our food have to have that Jamaican accent on it. Good country pepper. So we're going to put that some in there. And we're going to put our favorite herb in there, thyme. Let's get some thyme. Thyme and rosemary in the bag. We'll put it. I put lots of thyme. Let's get some. Just go ahead, put your hand in there and get the shaking that's down in the bottom. Yeah, just put your hand in there, reach down in there, and take it out with your hand. Get the shaking that's down at the bottom. Go ahead, rub a little, two big finger for it. That's good. That's good. That's rosemary. So we got 2 tablespoons of rosemary. Let's get some thyme. Let's put some thyme, get some more thyme out of there. Get the next batch just like that and pull the leaves off. We use lots of thyme. You know, we have so much thyme in Jamaica, the thing is free. You buy some scallion and just brush it in the room. It's free. Time to let the soon come because we have time. We have plenty of time. But it's a very powerful healing herb. So it's a great herb for all of your meat. So we're going to put it in our nut meat. So we put in all the leaves all the time. We put in that rosemary in there. You know, rosemary is very powerful healing herb. It's great for the hair, strengthening the roots of the hair. So all of this is going in the food processor. And got some other herb here we're going to put in there. Some sweet marjoram. We'll put some sweet marjoram in there. If you put some garlic in there, we're going to put 3 cloves of garlic. Peel 3 cloves of garlic. And this is the meat seasoning. This is the fresh seasoning. You're not buying no little something in no box and buckle and all of them things. You make it yourself. That's why I say this is not raw food cuisine. This is fresh food cuisine. Raw food is a curse word. We don't use them words. It's some fire food. There's nothing raw about this food. This food is cooked by the sun. The universal chef that cooks for everybody on the planet. You saw the pot turn every day. Move into the sun every day. The pot just turn and the new pot finish on the next side. You know, and it's a very exact science, you know. You see the banana blossom, and then you see it go, and the pot just moving, and then you see eventually the big full banana is there, and then we get ripe and the pot ready. The bird come home to test it and see, make sure the pot ready. Yeah, the pot ready, and then we go jam it off, and then the tree just fall down, and the next one was right there. This is a food factory. All these seeds, all these renewable things and stuff like that. So why are we eating out of bottles and cans and boxes and plastic wraps and all of them so polluting the place? We lost it. But Jamaica's coming back for it though. We're reclaiming our rightful place in the universe here. Fresh food, market food, shop in the market, buying the supermarket. What's so super about that? Just go and buy your toilet paper and them things in them place, you know. But go to the market. You're gonna get real food. You know, don't paying for cans and all of those things. So we got our nut meat, and we're going to put some blood in the meat. We have a beetroot there. So where the beetroot, get the beetroot, and let's put some blood in the meat. See it right here. So we're going to peel the beetroot, and this loads with iron. Just get the peeler and peel it. Go ahead and let's work with this for now. Let's put some black salt, kalanamak from India. Go ahead and put 1 teaspoon of black salt in there. The thing about black salt is that it's the only salt that leaves the body. All of the salt remain in the body. And don't confuse it with the Himalayan salt. That's a whole other beast over there. It's a big rock that don't ever break down. You leave it on your vanity as a lamp, and it stay there for the rest of your life. And it never break down. So imagine when you put something inside of your body, it stay hard just like that, and it never break down, never leaves the body. So we recommend the black salt. I remember back in, I think it was maybe 2004, it was on Muta show, we talk about the black salt. Boy, Muta and something else, you know. The next day, every single Indian shop in Jamaica sell out the black salt. Sell out. So y'all will raid them today before I go on Muta soon. Muta people let them run. Muta said something, let's all look for this first. So we got to put some seasoning in there next. We got to put some spice in there. And we're going to put some paprika in there. We're going to put all of that, 2 tablespoons of paprika. Paprika is just, you know, dried up red pepper. Let's okay. Let's go ahead and put that in there. And we're going to keep breaking that down. Let's leave that. That's going to put all of that, 2 tablespoons. Let's leave the beet whole. I'm going to cut the beet in half one time. Let's keep going and keep working with this. Grind this down some more. Let's grind it down a little bit more. That's good. That's good. We're going to put the nut meat now in with here and mix it up. Put half of it and run the machine and mix it up. Run the machine and mix it up. With half of it in there. And we're coming back with that. And then the beetroot, we're going to shred it up. We're going to shred the beetroot really fine. So you got see them beet shreds in there. You know they have the beet strings inside of the bully beef. We're going to have the beet strings inside of our this is a beet meat loaf.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm there drinking my sorry. We make the sorry. No boiled sorry, no heated sorry. We run the sorry through the blender with coconut water and ginger. Blend it, press it out. Good. Stop the machine, clear the side, put the rest of the meat, the nut meat in there, and keep grinding. Clear the side first, and put the rest of the nut meat in there, and keep grinding. Now put the rest on top of that. And then we add coconut, we add cane juice to it. So sorry, ginger and cane juice, just juice, blend it, extract it, and that's it. we're gonna get this. Let that run and keep mixing that up. And hold the bowl on the side right there. Don't put it away. Keep it on the side. Right there is good. So we're going to keep that running there. So you're mixing it all in. So this is a nut meat. Some meat. You can turn it into a loaf. You can shape it into a patty and make it into a croquette. You can dehydrate it. Or you can make it. We make what we call a Jamaican bigger. It's not even a burger. It's a bigger. We make a bigger. Go on my website. Sunfired.com, SUNFIRED, and see the bigger on there. As a matter of fact, you don't have to go to the website.